James Baldwin is blessing us. For me personally, his novels was one of the first novels I ever read in another country. I aspire to, embody what he wanted for African Americans in this country, and to be able to do it in his neighborhood. I mean, nothing's more tremendous than that. I play the mother who didn't know, who was in so much pain. She didn't know how to show love in a way that embraced my son's love. So I love that it showed like all the gamuts and how we fail each other when we love too much and we love too little, and it's beautiful.
Make a film, you have an ideal audience and an ideal place, and I think the Apollo, which is up here in Harlem where Mr. Baldwin was born and raised, where the film is set, where we made the film, is the perfect place to show it. This book was published in 1974. It was written in the early 70s, and yet so many things in the book and in the film are still relevant to today. So I hope that when people watch the movie, they identify with the characters, they're moved by the story, and they see that there's still so much progress left for us to make. I love working with all these actors. We tried to build these families. Tish, who plays KiKi Layne, who plays Tish, has one family. Stephan James, who plays Fonny, has another family. And we just approached the casting around those two young people as building these families. And it was a labor of love, and everybody chipped in.
My hands were shaking as we pulled up. I've been to many of these premieres, and this feels very special. It feels like something that was a calling. It feels like something that, oh wow, it's beyond my wildest imagination. I've been such a lover of James Baldwin and his text and the way he tells our stories. I think it's beyond relevant today. I think that we're searching for answers of how do we deal with each other, the history of America, what's underneath our skin, how do we look at each other and examine each other and interrogate history, interrogate our culture. And James Baldwin he is the Shakespeare of our times. He is the person we can go to and try to find some answers that we're trying to wrestle with. And he gives you language when you have none. Working with Regina King is a dream come true. I've been a fan of her work for years, and our characters just danced together. It was very easy to play her husband and to be on this journey with her. Watching a young actress named KiKi Layne coming to her own to lead a film. Stephan James and I did the movie Selma together when we were shoulder to shoulder marching for justice. So it feels like a homecoming with a lot of these actors, and actors that I've loved for years.
Working with Barry was a fantastic thing, and he's such a sweetheart, and I just felt so lucky I could, escape my reality and join this film and this cast and this crew. There was like pure love around this film, and I think that's the heart of Barry. That he just creates a fantastic atmosphere to work in. Well, this film is important because the issues the book talks about are issues that we're still dealing with, and the story also is universal,
It is amazing to see that this film was considered, or I guess recognized in such a way that it was considered worthy enough to be removed from Lincoln Center and brought to the Apollo, especially considering the author. I think it's a nice kind of sort of coming home feeling for the film and for the work, so it's great. James Baldwin is such a prolific writer, as we all know, and I think this story in particular touches on so many themes that I'm doubtful will ever go away from society, themes of family, love, trust, injustice, and I think Baldwin in particular does a really good job of bringing humanity into those themes and into the characters that play them and that tell that story. So yeah, to have it be brought to the big screen, I think it's kind of like a finally type of moment, and from the cast to the director, I think it's just the perfect group of people really working together to bring that story to life and to give it its time.
Coming to this place that I used to come at like as a kid and being here for this is like a big deal, especially because this is about young love and young black people in America, and the Apollo was like the epitome of that, of diversity and all that here in Harlem, but in New York too, so it means a lot. Working with the ensemble cast, my gosh, I worked with people I grew up watching. Michael Beach, Aunjanue Ellis, Regina King, so many people. So sitting there and being able to watch them work and kind of have them give me the confidence to do my own work was so beautiful. James Baldwin's work is so important and still relevant because it is applicable to any year that today. Like, this story could take place today in Harlem, or anywhere in the country, really. So it's so important and so timely, and I feel like right now, 2018, it's a good year for it to be coming out. Every U.S. citizen needs to go out and see this film, because this is about America.
To me, this movie is about the passionate love of a family staying together amid really impossible odds in a society that does not respect them as they should be respected, and yet the love of the family is never diminished, and that to me is the thing that is really fresh and raw and inspirational about this book and this movie. I mean, the way Barry captured the family dynamic to me is the thing that really, really stands the test of time.
Harlem, was so important to Baldwin, and so it feels, it feels so special to be back here and to, celebrate the film where the film, takes place and was ultimately created. There's the love between Tish and Fonny, just this really tender, vulnerable, love they've had since they were little kids. There's love between friends and family. I think overall it just speaks to the importance of being connected with people, regardless of if they're your biological family or chosen family. Working with Barry was amazing. He's just so, attentive to what each of us need, as individual artists. I just felt so well taken care of and supported on his set. I hope audiences take away the power of being connected, of leaning into the people that are around you and allowing yourself to love and be loved by them.
I love Barry. I love working with Barry. We find, we have an interesting process where I feel writing film music is a very mysterious sort of art in a way, because I'm sort of convinced there's no right sound. You're trying to find something that feels like it's part of the movie, like it's almost like inside the movie. And we get together in my studio and we joke about, we just go into the cave and we search around and we try to feel things, So it's a very kind of mystical in a way.
It is a love story, and it's not just a love story between KiKi and Stephan's characters, between Tish and Fonny, but it's this love story between father and daughter, friends, sisters, mother and daughter, and just how love pushes people through. So I think people are going to leave feeling like a bit of a salve has been put on the wound. He makes you feel safe as an actor. He creates a space that you can find that vulnerable space easily without fighting with it, because sometimes it's scary as an actor, because that's what we do. We're just out there, and he allows you to be out there and shine.
I sort of got a little speechless walking up here and, just feeling like, wow, like this is sort of what we made this film for, for this moment to be able to bring this story back here to Harlem, the home of James Baldwin. It's an exciting feeling. It's love and relationships and the power of love and what that power can really get you through, the trials and tribulations that young Fonny and Tish have found themselves in so early in life, really the only thing that held them up was love and the love that they had for each other. This is the first James Baldwin novel that I ever read, and for me, you know, to be able to hear these stories and see this sort of beautiful honesty, brutal honesty, in poetry and almost this Shakespearean sort of language, but the timeliness and the timelessness of it sort of struck me as something that, if we could tell this story again in this way visually, then I believe that we won. So I'm so happy to be here and to be, finally giving this story to Harlem.